Hello and welcome back to another session by today we have Asha J with us again, a seasoned professional with extensive experience across the UK, India, Pakistan, and the USA to explore the untold struggles faced by women in the music industry. Today we are going to uncover the harsh realities of harassment, broken promises, and unequal pay, and explore how aspiring women in music can recognize and address these red flags. So, Shaji, take over, please.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you, Asha. I hope you're fine and
Hi.
well.
Hello, nice to see you both once again.
Definitely. So we're just going to make this a regular thing just for everyone listening and watching. We thought it would be a good idea to begin in this way. So if anyone watching would have any questions, we're going to post the stream yard link and one can join in and watch. So we're going to begin this entire episode in regards to how people have various kinds of dreams and they have to face various struggles in order to achieve what they've dreamed. And along the way, there's a lot of people who manipulate them. There are a lot of people who basically uh, make false promises. It's a lot of emotional trauma and whatnot. So go ahead, Asha. I'll pass the microphone to you. First question over here would be like when you came into this industry, how quickly did you realize that there might be people over promising and whatnot? So go ahead.
Okay, I first realised of your promising when I was sort of promised for events that I may be able to take part in, which never happened. Obviously, there'll be a selection process. Sometimes you don't get selected for your events. Also, when you're abroad as well, you're realizing you're mixing with people who promise you future projects, but they don't really fall short of them. They will tell you there will be events coming up. Yeah, I've been asked to perform overseas many times, and then you're waiting for emails, confirmations, you're waiting for you can wait for payments before you even start, So that's when I realized these promises and events that are promised to yourself, but you actually don't get. They don't see
Asha,
through.
can you speak a bit louder? I think I can't. You're not very audible.
Oh, sorry. I can surely do that. Yeah, it's no problem. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is that loud enough? Sorry about that. Yeah, so yeah, it's just generally when you're traveling and you're just before you're traveling, you're asked, that you're going to be performing at an event, or you seem to then going to take payment for your event. Sometimes that becomes a bit of a struggle as well. You don't get to get the payment, or sometimes you're just being promised that you'll be performing at an event and you're waiting for emails to come through, and that doesn't happen either. So yeah, it's just a mixture of those really. And it's just promises from all over the world that you just maybe at an event or you'll be performing somewhere, or things like that really. So they're over promises really. Can you hear me? Hello?
I think you blanked out for a moment.
Yeah, I think we need to take a swift break because I think what it's happening is, it's a technical issue at the moment we're experiencing with the system that we're on, which is blacking out. It's not staying on long enough. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess we'll just move on to the second question, I guess.
Okay.
So,
we do want to apologize to our audiences that have tuned in. Obviously, we're on a technical, we're sort of on a meeting here. It's there might be some hitches, guys, so do forgive us if it does come and go, because we are struggling with signals and problems at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Okay. So I guess the next question would be, have you had any personal experiences encountering harassment or facing situation where promises made to you were not fulfilled, or how did you navigate through such circumstances?
I have a lot of promises, and not just with music, you know, it could be also in acting and film industry as well. I mean, Asha J was not just known as a singer, she was also known as an actress as well. So, well, coming into the industry, I was producing my videos as well. So I was known then to become a bit of an actress as well, because you have to, isn't it? You're performing your own songs. So, yeah, and when you're all over media, you're having emails coming through, messages to maybe join on board with industries that entertainment industries will say, you know, and then yeah, you're asked for, you know, sort of giving signals that they'll be able to bring you on board onto projects. But then yeah, that's where it was something like that was kind of exciting. I mean, you artist in the industry, you find it really exciting, you know. Like, you know, all of a sudden you're all over the media, and suddenly you're having so much input from, you know, industries, whether it's music or whether it's filming. And oh wow, yeah, I was very overwhelmed, and it was for someone like myself who just begun, I found that really, yeah, it's interesting. I thought the
So
attention
what
can be
what
quite overwhelming.
what would be some of the red flags which you would basically tell anyone who's trying to get into the music industry or show business in general to
Yeah.
watch out for?
Yeah, watch out for, if you're not receiving confirmations in a very professional way, make sure you're receiving emails that, first of all, which I didn't always do, which you should always do, is search the company, look on the internet, make sure they're a known brand, a known company, do your research. So when you're not really, you know, when you're not really knowledgeable and all that, or you haven't enough guidance about how you, and you know, someone comes to you and says, you know, this is who we are and this is what we offer. If you haven't done your research, you just take that by word of mouth, isn't it? And you just expect it to be a real offer. So yeah, I would just say that if anyone's having offers coming through, please do your research online, check out any websites, and anything on the internet you can find, and see if
But
this is
many of
real.
these organizations, if you notice, would be having a very good name and everything, and yet they would change anyone who's about to come in. So that's another issue. Like, you'll go to these big brands, and I've seen people have been shortchanged by them as well. So how is there a particular strategy you would recommend in terms of dealing with the corporate? Should you have an agent? Should you not have an agent?
Absolutely. It is always wise to have an agent, but not many up and coming or new artists, fresh talent can afford an agent. We all would have loved to have had an agent, but you know, they charge big fees. There again, you're stuck again as an independent artist to hire an agent to work with you, because again, you've got to pay fees. So independent artists like us are like fish waiting to be fished out, and then you know they reward you, or like you sort of talk about the promises. They do ask you, I do remember the question many have asked, the first question they would ask you, do you have an agent? When you tell them, no, you don't have an agent, I think that's when they can sort of grab you and manipulate you, or, you know, mislead you. So really, you know, if you don't have an agent, then you have no other chance really. So yeah, my answer to that would be, it would be wise, intelligent, and obviously, yeah, sensible to have an agent that can help you and guide you and do the talking for you. Because artists really shouldn't really be doing the talking, to be honest with you. We're doing our conversation, you know, making agreements, and you know, then the false promises, being misled. It's because we're doing our own talking. So if there's someone else to do that for you, then you'd be better off. And I would advise, yes, anyone up and coming now in fresh talent, they can seek an agent. And I know it's really, really expensive. There's fees to pay. You know, no one's just agent will work for you without having price, you know. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Definitely.
So another leading question, because we are of Asian origin, and in the UK, you must have dealt with a lot of Asian media, whether it's Indian, Pakistani, or British Asian, or even Bangladeshi or Sri Lankan, or at times Middle Eastern. Would you say there's more tendency because it's more they have more they're more inclined towards not paying they, like for example, I don't see many artists in the UK who have agents unless they have reached a certain kind of background, and mostly another thing, like TV channels, I'm not going to name any, but at the end of the day, a lot of those TV channels kind of go, even if you do have an agent, you do have a corporate backing, they would try and make a direct contact with you and not want to deal through an agent.
Yeah, absolutely. They do want to make direct. I'll be honest with you, like coming to where I am now, you know, being wiser in this industry, coming a long way. You know, you know, these corporate and you know bigger industries that I worked with as well, I have come across. Yeah, it would be wise for them because I believe they should be professional. You know, professional in their conduct, professional in how they speak with you, professional in how they deliver contracts to you. Everything should be contracted. To be honest with you, I've always asked them for confirmation, you know, of any offers, any suggestions of work with yourselves and as an artist should be contracted, and not just you know, spoken by you know word of mouth, you know, conversational talk. It should be contracted. So yeah, I think yeah, some of the corporate. I'll be honest, I have worked with some really have had offers from the USA. I've had offers from abroad, you know, working with some industries, not just in singing, as you know, my brand is a very diverse brand and very mixed brand, you know, in the entertainment industry, you know, there was a lot of different work I was really involved in, you know, excitingly, and I had a lot of offers throughout the world. For Asha J as a brand, she jumped on board with. But I'll be honest, when I was working with some of the Western brands, I felt that there was a lot of professionalism and not false promises, and they would see it through. I would have a lot of mentoring as well from overseas, I remember, you know, guiding me, directing me, what do I need to do, which way to go, if I was going to succeed. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when I was working with my USA brands, they wouldn't promise me anything. They would direct me and tell me what I need to achieve to enter a certain brand that they were proposing to me. But I was asked to then you know, prepare myself, and there wasn't no contract, there wasn't no false promises. There was just very, very direct and honest. And I loved about working with some of the Western companies I was working with. They were very honest, and they would tell me how it is. And sometimes I had tears. It can hurt you with the direct honesty that they would give you, but that is what it is, you know. So that working with Western brands. But when I was working with some of the Asian brands, in all honesty, I did feel a lot of letdowns on the instant. And I wouldn't say they were offering with you know I would get confirmation of emails, you know, or you know suggestions of what we're going to do in the projects. But I was really let down, to be honest, because now I've got all out of my way to deliver the material. You know, you're doing posting, you're doing emails, you're putting so much of your energy into someone who's proposed to launch you on a label, even not naming brands, you know, so not naming the company. Your promise that you're going to be on this record label, right? So all you need to do is send us the songs, send us a write up, send us everything. You've done everything now. I'm going to be honest, I even wasn't far as signing a contract. This was a contract. I actually signed paperwork. Did it come through? No, it didn't. You're waiting on weeks or months, and there would be an excuse at the end of it why they couldn't launch.
So
Yeah.
basically, they just prolonged it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always prolonged, you know. It's a waiting game. What are they looking to achieve? You know, do they not have some, you know, heart or empathy on artists like ourselves? How much energy we need to put into producing music and then doing the bios of write-ups and then submitting everything. You might be either posting. I mean, back in my days, there wasn't a lot of access on the internet. You could set large files, or now everything's accessible here. And I'm doing a lot of posting. So you're looking at out of your own pocket energy, sending over music. You're just like and then you're signing even a contract. So yeah, it was big letdowns, to be honest with you.
But
I really
say
thought I had like
the movie industry is different from the music industry in any ways, or there's more manipulation in one industry compared to the other, because I see you've been
I I
working
could
on
say
movies.
they could be for both, to be honest with you. I mean, no industry is safe, to be honest. You just have to. I was just fortunate enough. I knew someone over the USA brand that I was working with, linked to, I'll be honest, in Hollywood. We'd known them from the Sony music side, so that's why I trusted him. So I trusted someone I knew through a former, I wouldn't say agent that I was paying fees to, someone who became a guider for me. My friend Carlos, he really directed me from the Sony music company he worked for, who had a contact in the USA who he was working with, and she produced music for them. Asha J popped up all over media, and suddenly I had this diverse fusion music going on. It was urban, fusion, Asian, and they just loved it. And the brand overseas just fell in love with this Asha J and with the diversity she had to bring. They thought this could be something. So yeah, I was really fortunate, and there wasn't any contracts here I had to sign. There wasn't any false promises. I was only guided. So the difference is just my experiences. I don't want everyone to think it's going to be their experience. I was fortunate and lucky because of my contact I had here in the UK, who was a friend of mine, who I was fortunate enough with contacts in the USA, discovered the brand Asha J, and they wanted to work with me. So yeah, it's just potluck, I'd say. You got to be just very careful, to be honest, that the offers that you get from. So I want everyone to remember one thing: it's not just the Asian industry that can you can get letdowns from. It can be also Western industries as well. It's what you are, who you know. You got to make sure there's some credibility. Maybe someone can recommend someone to you. So yeah, I just was quite blessed in that way that I came through safely through the Western industry.
So, so do you think it's harder for women to navigate through the industry than men? Like, are there any like situations that where women have to try a little harder than men to get what they want?
I've got a lot, yeah, thank you for asking me that question. I've got a lot of friends in I've got male friends that were struggling artists too, wasn't myself. So I love to be speak for both, to be honest. I mean, I can only give my experience as a female, but I do believe that there are male artists out there, and I do speak for them because I had a lot of friends that supported me who were also up and coming artists, because we were the ones that would meet up at these gigs and events here and overseas, and we'd both be in the same boat. We were all struggling, but we're all coming here to either do free events or we're just like trying to push our music through. We just want to be heard and seen. And so I speak for both, but for females, as a female, and as you know, can imagine us single-handed. There's no one here as an agent for us, and there's more chance of you being misled as in invitations for dinner, invitations for meetings. What is your alternative motive, really? Is it the sincerity you're going to offer me a proposal that evening? Why are we meeting? So you're really taking a chance as a female, and are you safe? Sorry, I'm just
So if somebody is caught in a difficult situation and they don't have a contract or something, how would you advise them to deal with that?
if the
Because
contract, okay. If they don't have a contract, I really wouldn't pursue that until you get something in writing. Please make sure that there is something in writing, and please get that double checked. I did have friends that were able to look over. So, like I said, I had a friend that was in the industry already, reputable industry. That's why I said I'm very fortunate. I had a long-term friend who was in the industry and had experience. I was able to send over emails. I'll be honest with you, he would tell me straight out, this doesn't look right, this looks dodgy. He saved me many of times. I'll give him thanks for that, honestly. Many of times there were contracts made out that weren't formal yet, and lucky escape many times, you know. So yeah, you just got to make sure everything is checked over as well by someone else. Always get a second opinion on any offers that you receive and any paperwork, to be honest with you.
So somebody, if they are caught in that situation, then I'd like to add, if I think if you've ended up in that situation, and I've seen that from the other end, then it's always a nice thing to remember that verbal contracts and proof do have a legal standing as far as the UK is concerned. Uh, you can pursue that in court, but how far it will get, uh, you don't know. So it's so
Hmm.
better be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And one thing to do, look at your clauses, guys, because clauses are very important in the contract. So you've got to make sure you read every single word in that contract. They can terminate you anytime. It's like any job offer you have, any career that you're in, that you have a clause in there of, you know, to sort of eliminate you, you know, whenever they feel like, you know. There is a contract, and in the contract it will say whether, you know, if you're not bringing in, you know, the bucks for them in that month, they could easily just withdraw you. Um, and anything like that needs to be double checked. Even get if you could seek a professional solicitor or lawyer to just check over your contracts. If they're offering you like a really big contract and you think, wow, because it can be so like a dream come true. It's so exciting that you think, yeah, this is it, you know. But make sure that that contract is checked. Make sure you read your clauses. Basically, you could be tied into a contract. I'm going to be honest with you. I know personally, not naming any artists that are already established that have been caught up in contracts that they couldn't even get out of because they're so unhappy with some really big major record labels overseas. I would say I know personally, you know, I've had talks and chats with them, you know, and they said that they got caught up and, you know, didn't get the outcome that they expected from there, and they couldn't get out. Some contracts tie you in, so you can't get out. How many contracts did I read were giving me the option to, sorry, telling me that I couldn't come out after a certain time, so you're binded, and you can't work with anyone else, so you're binded. You know, so once you've signed a contract, you're stuck if you're then can't work with anybody else. As independent artists, we like a bit of space, a bit of freedom to express ourselves, not just to stick to. I mean, if you're all right, if the contract is so big and yeah, this is gonna, you know, you read it and it's gonna give you every, you know, a lot of what you're looking for in life, music and performances and everything else, and wide exposure and money, you know, the finances will also support your career because it's expensive. And then if you're having someone do that all for you, go for it, you know. But then you've got to remember one thing, guys, you might not be able to work with anyone else. Once you're in a contract, you're then tied and binded legally. So
So
yeah,
so this is going to be one of the last few questions. One of the questions is, if you're very talented, you've written something, you've composed something, how do you protect it from somebody
yeah.
when you're basically showing it to people? So is there a easy way of copywriting or something in regards to that? And if somebody does steal your work, how and if it's a huge artist, for example, do you still
Yeah,
pursue
there's what.
it? How do you pursue it?
Definitely. Yeah, there is PRS. There is other companies out there that protect your work now. So make sure everything you go visit the websites and make sure your work is protected. Make sure it's copyrighted as well. I back in the days they didn't have all this these industry, you know, companies where you can copyright your music. I remember I used to just write my song, literally write my song and post it back to myself. I remember back in those days, that's all I could do. This is my song. I'm going to date and stamp this and then send it back to myself and then hand it over to someone that can keep it safe for me. That was my way of copywriting back in the days. But now you can get, you know, solicitors and lawyers to sort of confirm your work. You've got PRS, you've got all the music standards companies out there that will protect your work for you. So when we release on iTunes, we're under copyright. As you can imagine, when you're on YouTube, you're releasing something. They do all the checks for you now. If that music doesn't belong to you, it's really, really good and firm now. So your music will be protected, but you've got to make sure that you do get yourself legally protected. Your music is under copyright. I've had a lot of companies, other artists come to me and say, "Oh, we'd like to remix your song," you know. But you need to get permission from me first as well if you want to remix my song. But these days, people are just remixing music without asking permission, even. But you know, as long as you're not releasing it. But it's when you go beyond releasing someone's music and to make your own finance, you know, money, you know, income from that. That's where it's the copyright will go on for you. So you can't just release music and sell it. So, you know, I know many people that remix some of my songs, you know, like Divana and that, you know, I used to get comments, oh, we remixed your song, or can we, I like those that came to me and asked me, can we remix your music? What they wanted to do with that, I wouldn't be too sure, but I would know that they were just using it for performances, but you just don't know where your music's being used to. And so, yeah, make sure everything's copyrighted because your people are earning off what your babies. That's your product. That's what nourished, grown, produced. Because it's hard work. It was so hard for me. Sorry.
So I think this is it for this week. We're going to have another one next week. That's going to be more detailed. I think Asha's getting comfortable. We're getting over
Yeah,
our technical
definitely.
issues. And I'm sorry about the technical issues today.
A lot of technical
But
issues
we're
today.
getting better. We're going to get
To be
better.
I just want
So
to apologise, to everyone watching because it has been a bit of a struggle today, but we were determined to get on, right, weren't we, guys? We just thought we'll just come on and say hi to everyone. We have had technical issues today, but I just want everyone watching, my families, my friends, my fans. I know you're all here. Most of you are here today watching, and I know you know. Do you mind if I say this, Shak? Yeah, many have grown with Asha J over this last 14 years, I would say, and you just have been such a supporting system for me, and I couldn't have done it with you all. That's another thing, Sax, I want to mention to you both here, my lovely hosts, that we need support. Independent artists need support from family and friends. And my mother has been my biggest support, and I have children. They've been just so supportive and encouraged me, keep going, keep moving. You have talent, no matter what. And don't let anyone criticize you. So just remember, no matter how difficult it is, and technical issues like this today as well, right? Don't let it put you off. Like we've just pushed through. Mean like our lovely hosts today that haven't been able to just get us online today. As you can see, we're from overseas and here I'm in the UK and they're abroad too. So yeah, just remember that no matter what you do, have the support of your family, friends, and you will definitely get somewhere. So thank you so much for bearing us with these technical problems. I really do look forward to seeing you all again.
no worries, Asha. It was lovely having you. And next week, I think we're going to talk more in. We've got the technical sides out in terms of contracts and everything. We're going to really touch into what actually exists within the music industry, how various artists and genres, what's the difference between them, uh, the party scene associated to certain genres, how people can be manipulated in those things, how what the outgoings are there. But at the end of the day, I would like to also add that it's brilliant to have dreams. You should have dreams. You should have aspirations. You just have to be looking out for yourself. So this is not in order to deviate someone or maneuver. What we're trying to do is basically simply just uh, kind of create awareness that have those dreams, have those passion, have that passion, and do it the right way, play it safe. So I'm just going to basically move the mic on to Maham, and then she can close off. If Asha, you have something to say, go ahead before Maham.
I just want to say exactly, just touching what you just said, Shaz. It's really, really important that, just remember that's why we're here. We're the role models here now. We're our experiences, our testimonies, we call them, what we went through are going to help up and new coming artists. We're not here to name and shame anyone. We're just asking you just to be very careful. And like we said, this what we're doing now, I believe, is just having a podcast just to help you know what your red flags are, what to look out for. And as females, like I said, I'll give you more insight into what was going on with me. So please do tune in again. How, I didn't really notice, or because I was so excited, what really I should wear, what really I should have been careful about, with that, then I would have got so hurt in my life. And what I don't want is artists to be hurt. It's painful when you have this dream, like you said, Shax, they have a dream and yet they're struggling, they're climbing and they're struggling, they're falling down again, we're struggling, and I don't want that. And I just want everyone to be happy, I'm just about explore and just investigate and become an investigator. But we'll talk about that. I'm sure there's a lot more I have to share with you. It's going to be so exciting, or ways how you can find out who's who and what's going on. And, and just remember, keep your friends and your family, your loved ones close. Handing over.
Okay, I guess we're done for the day. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll be back with another session soon on this very channel. Subscribe and like the channel, and press the bell button so that you get regular updates. And we'll be with you next time, inshallah. Have a good day, have a good evening, or good afternoon. Bye bye.
Thank you. See you all next time. See you again soon, everyone.